When we need to divide results in various ways, we can use the group by keyword to change the way that a query works. Let's say we wanted to count up how many of each first name we have in our database. I'll write select first name and count first name from people. That should work, right? Well, it doesn't, because when we ask the database to give us a count of the items in the first name field, we get one result, 1,000, and then that informs the size of the response. So we just get the first name value from the last record in the table. But if we add a clause to the end, using the group by keyword, we can tell the database to run our select clause against each individual grouping by the field that we specify. So I'll add that on the end here. I'll write group by first name. And that looks a lot more like what we're interested in. We can switch this out too for another field. I'll write count last name and group by last name. But this is information that doesn't make any sense, because while we're grouping by last name and counting the occurrences of each, we're still returning the first name, which will be the final first name in each of the groups of last names. Not useful. So I'll switch that field to last name too. And now it makes sense. Let's change this to count up how many of our quiz participants come from each state in the US. I'll write select state, count state from people, group by state. And again, we do need to be careful that what we're asking for makes sense. The database will give us a response in a lot of cases, but it doesn't know if the response makes any sense to a person. We have a count of how many people in our contest come from each state. But now let's find out how people from each state did on our quiz. Let's count up the number of people that got 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on points. I'll change my select statement to select state, quiz points, and count quiz points from people, group by quiz points. This statement makes sense to me. We want to see the state and how many people got each score in each state. Select the state, group by quiz points. But as it's written, the result of this query won't make any sense. In order to make it make sense, we need to add a second sort here. We need to sort by the state, and then we need to sort by quiz points. So the count counts scores of each quiz value within each state. I'll change my group by to group by state, comma, quiz points. And now I can see that in Alaska, one person got 20 points. In Alabama, 2 people got 10 points. One person got 40 points, and so on. So be cautious about how you group your data. If you're not careful, you'll get a response back that's basically meaningless. The database will dutifully report back what you asked for, so be sure to word your questions carefully.